Hey, Metal Maniacs, this is Jeremy from Intent, and you are thrashing it up on Dave Softee's Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio.
Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Mesa, Arizona, from killer thrash metal band Intent, here to talk about the band's latest offering, EXILE, released this summer, August 26, 2022. Joining us, we have guitarist, vocalist, we have Jeremy Lambert.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing great, loving your music, and welcome to the Metal Meltdown, Jeremy. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's just give a quick, well, if you can, let us know who makes up the rest of your lineup. You have that classic Bay Area thrash sound. I love that sound.
Word, man. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So there's me on vocals and guitar, and then we have Laithan Bellavance on secondary guitar, and then there's Patrick Murphy on bass, and then my close friend Garrett Loper on drums.
Okay, thank you so much for telling everybody out there, all the Metal Maniacs, about the rest of the lineup. And yeah, this is a kick-ass thrash offering, excellent musicianship. And I see the band formed in 2016. Your debut offering was called what, Vox Populi? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, so I pronounce it Vox Populi. It's Latin for voice of the people. It's just a potato thing, but
Okay, yeah.
I always say it that way.
Yeah, me personally, I'm not that good with pronouncing things sometimes, so excuse me if I butchered that. But I see this was released through Dirty Needle Records of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I checked out the label. You're the only music on the label. Is that your own label?
No, so I think, were you looking at the Metal Archives or
Metal Archives, yeah. They're not accurate all the time.
I think, yeah, they're definitely not accurate because there used to be a lot of great bands on there. They're a small label, like you said, from Minneapolis. They're not around anymore. They're kind of like, it used to be run by these two guys, and they're just kind of, I don't know what happened. I think it was just a money issue or something, but it's just, they're kind of defunct. But yeah, there was a lot of cool bands on there, and they primarily did cassette releases and I think a couple CD releases. We were like one of the only ones we did a CD release with them, but yeah, just a small time like underground label.
I see, yeah, because I clicked on information on the Metal Archives when I checked out Intent, and it just listed the one. I'm like, wow, that's weird. But I think a lot of times in my interviews, I notice bands, they do have their own labels, and that's how they get the music out there. So that's why I X that. But I understand what you're saying, and Metal Archives is not always accurate. Yeah. It's a Bible, but the Bible, you can't believe everything anymore. Seriously. But yeah, so how did the band get its name? It's a great name for your band, Intent, and the logo and everything is such spot on, great stuff.
Man, I can't even remember how we got the name. So me and Garrett and then this other guy, Ricardo, started the band, and I remember, trying to find a name was always like, we weren't getting anywhere. So I remember, because, somebody would bring up a name, and then we're like, yeah, it's cool, or it's not that great, or, we weren't all feeling it. So I think there was a lot of arguments about the name, and eventually Intent came up, and we were just like, yeah, it sounds all right. Like, let's just roll with that.
Okay, that's interesting. When I first listened to your music, the first thing that popped in my mind, if you're familiar with the band from the UK, they have a Bay Area sound as well, but they're from the UK, especially from the beginnings, a band called EXILE.
Yep, that's one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, it sort of reminds me a little bit like that. They've gone through some changes over the years, of course, but yeah, I love that stuff. And let's learn more about the making of your latest offering, EXILE. I'm interested to know how your music, how the writing process is, how your music comes into fruition, who writes the music, who writes the lyrics. And once again, I want to say this is really outstanding thrash metal. For thrash metal lovers, you have to get Intent. It's definitely recommended.
So, all the songwriting usually starts with me, and I'll usually just pick up the guitar, and I'll try to start with an intro, or maybe like a riff that I think can really carry a song. And then I just want to get something that kind of makes me go like, oh, where's this gonna go? Or like, really gets me excited because I'm like a pretty low energy kind of guy. So I want something that's really gonna get my heart beating. Like just really go like, all right, like I want to mosh to this, or I want to see a band play this. So that's usually where I start, and everything else around that is just trying to find pieces that are going to complement that or keep the beat going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. And where was this? What studio was this produced in and mixed, mastered, all that fun stuff? How did the making of EXILE come to be?
So we actually recorded it all ourselves and mixed it ourselves, mastered it ourselves. So we spent a lot of money on just investing in mics and sound treatments and whatever else we needed, and just went from there. It's something that like kind of I feel like most musicians have kind of moved for that direction, at least the past couple of years, in terms of like having a home studio or like pro audio gear. I feel like it's important to have that now in this day and age because things are kind of getting harder.
Yeah, I got you. But I tell you, listening to this makes me wonder, why aren't you signed to a major label? Because you have the perfect sound for even the big labels. And I'm not really sure how this got released, if you self-released it, or are you on a label?
No, it was 100% self-released.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Wow. Well, it's great sound, and it has great artwork, too. It's like, the color scheme is very good, but it's like reminds me of the toxic look of thrash. How did this come to be? Who made the cover art, and also who designed your band's logo?
So the cover art is by Mark Richards. He's like one of my favorite artists. I found him online like years back. He's done some great stuff for bands like Pig Destroyer, or man, I don't even know. He's done just so much stuff, but I've just always loved his art, and he did the art on our first album as well. He's just like one of those guys that's just always stood out to me. So I feel like he gets it. He primarily worked with like ink and great shading, great use of color, and yeah, he's just really good. And like I'll usually give him an idea, and we'll just bounce back some things, and like yeah, he just really knows how to get the point across.
He did a great job for you. Absolutely.
Definitely.
And who did your band's logo? Because that pops also.
So I actually don't know the guy's name, but I found him online like years back. He's got to be somewhere over in Europe because whenever I talk to him, it's always like at 3 or 4 a.m. or something when I get a message back. But I don't know his real name. I just know his like online tag, and he recently kind of came back online. He had kind of disappeared for a while, but he does some great stuff too.
Okay, cool. What's his tag or his hashtag?
I think it was Mod Black Moon or something like that.
Okay. So now I need to ask: have you been shopping your music around? Are you looking to get signed, or you prefer just to self-release?
Yeah, we've done some shopping around. We over the pandemic we did most of our searching and shopping, but now that this has come out, we've decided like yeah, we should really be trying to pitch this harder to some more labels. Like we tried a lot of the big ones, but you never hear back, so you just kind of have to keep going on. And then another thing too is like you never know if like it actually reached somebody's eyes or not if you never got a response. So you kind of have to assume everything is just a no if you never hear back. That's kind of like the difficulty of doing that.
Right. You don't want to waste your time. You want to keep searching and find one label that could suit your needs, but it's not so easy, as you said.
Definitely.
So here in the underground, we're happy to have your music, but we need to spread the word on how the fans can support the band by getting merch. So we have a bunch of links. I appreciate that you have so many links that you can share with the people out there that they can get the music. I have your Bandcamp. That's Intent Bands AZ or intentbandaz.bandcamp.com. And it's the same on Facebook, Intent Band AZ for Arizona, obviously. And you have merch tab, you have release tab. You also are available on Spotify and Reverb Nation. You have Instagram page also. It's also Intent Band AZ. So it's good that you're keeping everything uniform. That's perfect. So I want to ask you, is this available on a digital platform as well? I mean, obviously digital, but how about CDs is made? Do you have any LP, any vinyl?
No vinyl yet. Vinyl's very expensive to produce, and plus it takes a long time to get it manufactured.
Right. Actually, I have noticed that you have the CDs there, and you have a bunch of different style T-shirts. You even have sweatpants, stickers, patches. I'm not sure if you sold out of anything, so what do you currently have available for your fans?
Oh man, we still got the sweatpants. We still have all the EXILE shirts and long sleeves. And then I think there's every other shirt we kind of have some straggler designs or sizes that we still have left. We're trying to sell out of everything so you can just get new designs in and kind of refresh everything. But that's all I can remember off the top of my head right now.
I see. So the best place, I guess, for the people to get the music is from your actual website, intentthrash.com. That's pretty much the one place that has all the links attached to it, I think. So that's a perfect place. I would say that's a perfect place for that. And I understand that you have a really good reputation for your live performance and that you have played with some legendary bands out there. Would you like to mention these bands that you've played with?
Yeah, so we've played with Overkill. We've done shows with Violence, Sacred Reich, Havoc. We've done some legs with DRI.
Pretty impressive.
Trying to think of anyone else as impressive as those guys. Skeletal Remains. I think those are all the major hitters we've done shows with.
That is very impressive. And I do notice that you have some shows coming up in January 4th, as a matter of fact. And you're going to be playing with Labyrinth, Seizure. I'm not familiar with Seagulls of the Summoning and Bloodlust. Now, is there any members of your band in Bloodlust? Because I noticed some different bands that were maybe in their past they were played with Bloodlust. Not really sure.
So Laithan, he was filling in on that band for a little brief stint, but that's like since long past.
I see. Yeah, Metal Archives, they're not always accurate, like I said.
Yeah.
And this show is going to be at the Nile Underground.
Yep.
Where is that located?
That is in downtown Mesa. I don't know the crossroads. I think it's like Main and something else.
Okay. That's good. And so beyond that particular show, do you have you've had lots of past shows, I've noticed. Are there any of the shows that you'd like to mention? Anything that stand out in your mind that you want to spread the word on? Or do you have any future shows that you want to bring to the attention of the fans out there?
Yeah, it hasn't. There hasn't been a tour flyer for this yet, but we're going to go on tour with DRI again this March, I believe. It's going to be like, kind of the southwest area. It's going to be like Texas, Arizona, Idaho, Colorado, all those areas.
Okay, cool. Very good. And will you be broadening your horizons, as they say, exploring new areas to perform in? Maybe go to the West Coast, to the East Coast, anything like that you think is going to happen for you?
So we've done West Coast before. The only place in the USA we haven't really been is East Coast, and like maybe some of those northerner states like Montana. Like those are really like the only spots we haven't touched.
I can guarantee you, New York would love to see you, the city especially.
Gotcha.
I'm sure. And let's talk about your YouTube channel. It's Intent Band Official on YouTube. At Intent Band Official 6513. I did check out your official music video for Victims of Conquest. I'd like to talk about that, about the making of it. Was that self-made? Was that self-made also, or could you tell us about the production, editing, and who was responsible for the video?
So no, that one was not self-made. That was there's this great local filmographer I know. His name is Lance Gregar, and he produced that, directed it, edited it. So yeah, working with him has been really good. He knows how to capture the moment and just really texture the visuals and make the band pop.
Did a good job for you, and I would imagine you're probably done making videos for this particular release, but is there any plans for any future either lyrical videos, visualizers, or official music videos for EXILE, or are you maybe planning on making new music for another offering, or what is the thought process on that?
So we might do some things like that. We're always kind of looking forward, so we're already kind of working on what's going to come next and see what the game plan is from there.
Yeah, I got you. And where do you see the band in the future? I mean, do you see yourself actually getting signed to a label and having your music come out regularly, or what do you see happening for that situation?
Yeah, I think it could definitely happen because we have a good live reputation. Our people love the songs. People buy the merch, so I can't see why it wouldn't happen.
Good.
And plus, with us, self-producing the music and trying to take an approach with recording it ourselves and knowing what's gonna work, and we're trying experimenting with tones and all these other techniques. I think we're definitely on the right track, and we can kind of see what can be better and kind of go from there.
Okay. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier before the interview, I found out about your band thanks to Vlad Promotions. He has a really good ear, and I listened to a variety of his bands, but yours is the one I wanted to get with so badly. So again, thank you for the interview. And would you like to talk about your guitars?
Yeah, I can definitely talk about my guitars. So I have on the album I recorded with it's a Jackson King V. I think it was the Pro Series in like a what's the color called? Ferrari red. And then I recently just picked up a Jackson USA King V. And then live I'll use the Randy Rhodes a lot. And then I also like Ibanez guitars, so I got a couple Ibanez's I'll rock sometimes in the studio or just jamming in my room or whatever. But I'm definitely more of like a Jackson kind of guy. Laithan is as well, for that 80s thrash look and feel for sure.
Are you currently, Jeremy, are you active in any other bands, or does Intent have your total focus?
Intent is my total focus, yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. And besides the band, of course, you have to, support the band by paying for all that it takes to make the music. So would you like to talk about what you do for your livelihood?
Yeah, I guess I can. So right now I do like tech support for like a smaller company here in Mesa. Just helping people with their computers or whatever, and whatever problems they have, they'll give me a call and I'll just figure it out. And sometimes I get hit with some weird problems, but the money pays good, so it's like whatever.
Well, I want to thank you for spending time with us on Metal Meltdown to talk about Intent, but I want to make sure that we brought everything that we can to the fans out there. Is there something that you would like to say, besides saying something to your fans? But I mean, is there any information that we could bring out to the people that we haven't talked about? I mean, it's very impressive that you do the live performances with very famous musicians out there, and so that's something to be said for. And your music is great, and the whole process of that is pretty impressive that you've done this all yourself. But as far as anything else that you would like to mention, please feel free to do so.
Okay. Well, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but just hey, if you guys are listening to the music and you like it, thank you so much. If you've never heard of us, just go check us out. That'd be a big favor for me.
Yeah, I hope that we could get you more fans, of course. That's the purpose of doing the interviews, and I appreciate you agreeing to come on the show in such a quick time. I mean, I just reached out to you, and here we are. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and hope that we can get a good response to the interview as well as your music. I'm sure we will. I'll be playing a lot of your music, and next time you have new music out there, hopefully, if it's in the summertime, I'll probably miss out on it, but my schedule with the radio is like a November to March schedule. Okay. If there's any time within that period that we could talk about your music and your new releases, I would love to have you come back on the show to talk about the future releases of Intent, and you can guarantee you'll have a spot on my show anytime.
Definitely. All right. Sounds good, man. I'll keep that in mind. We've got some things coming up we're working on. We were just doing some studio stuff this morning even before I got home, so I'll definitely keep you in mind, and I'll try to come back.
I appreciate that, and I want to wish you and all your bandmates a great new year. 2023 is around the corner. Have a lot of success with your future shows there, and like I said, keep in touch, and may you have success in all the years to come, and hopefully you meet the label that works out best for you. And it takes time, obviously, but hopefully you'll find the right one for you, and I wish you the best with that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, let's go crank up some more Intent with music off of EXILE. Let's crank it up loud.